What's up, guys? Controlled Chaos here, finally back, bringing you a deck profile. As some of you might know, but most of you probably wouldn't, I quit playing the game after last year's Nationals, the one in Detroit, not this past one, and for financial reasons. And honestly, I lost a lot of my love for the game. It was kind of just getting boring for me, so, you know, why go through all the effort to travel to events and pay all this money for the cards if it's something I don't really enjoy. But recently, thanks to my boy Ryan Pasnick, shout out to Ryan, got back into the game. Just been kind of cruising around locals and getting back into the flow, getting an idea for the meta. And yesterday, I went to my store's OTS and ended up taking second place with my Ritual Beast deck. So I'll talk to you about like the OTS and the matchups and stuff after the profile. For now, though, I'll just get right into it. For the monsters, I play Triple Elder, 2-1, 1 Lara, and 1 Zephyram. Nothing really needs to be explained here, except for the 1 Zephyram shows that I'm just playing the standard build, not playing the Oracle of Zephyr build. I feel like it's too... I would rather play extra traps than have that extra search ability. That's it for the Tamers, and then for the Beasts, obviously 3 Canahawk, 3 Rampengu, 2 Apelio, and 1 Petalfin. Kind of wanted to bump Apelio to 3 before this tournament, but I decided against it, and I'm kind of glad that I did because 2 was fine. Like, at no point did I find myself really needing another one. And then 2 Effect Valor, because Norden's a thing now, and, like, I don't know. I think it's just better in the main deck than Maxi is right now. So optimally, I'd probably like to play both just because of my playstyle. I love hand traps, but when you main deck Macro and D-Fissure, it's really hard to justify playing 4 cards that rely on you having a grave. Alright, so then I have 3 E-Telly. Again, kind of the answer to Norden. I needed to speed my deck up because every other deck, it seems, got a pretty nice boost from him. I can't really play him, so instead I kind of bumped the E-Tellys up. It helps with OTKs, it helps with saving your ass in bad situations. It puts a dude on board when your opponent doesn't think you can, and makes things like Steeds and Ambush more alive. Plus, you know, it makes the Canahawk Elder play even more explosive. And then the rest are 1-ofs, 1 Bond for OTKs, Gold Sark to kind of expedite your plays, a D-Fissure, a Regeki, and a Book. These are all pretty standard, at least in this deck. That's it for the spells. Pretty spell-light deck. Then for the traps, you have the searchable during either player's turn Regeki, which is disgustingly broken. Then we play 3 Ambush, equally broken, I guess. This is like the best top deck late game. It pulls you out of such shitty situations and can just allow you to get so many pluses for free. 3 Breakthrough Skill. I apologize for the mismatching rarities. Unfortunately, I was not able to continue borrowing the other 2 Ultra Breakthrough Skills, so I guess the commons will have to do for now. But this card puts in so much work. Like, between this and the Valor, I have just enough effect negation to get myself through. Helps a lot with plays. Like, this card puts in work. Then 1 Solemn, 1 Torrent, 1 Bottomless, 1 Macro, and then 1 Mirror Force. Kind of wanted to explain the Mirror Force because a lot of people in this place would be playing like a Vanities. But I feel like the fact that everybody plays Vanities and everything, like, from the most explosive deck all the way down to the most control-based deck, they all play Vanities. Like, if they play no other traps, they play Vanities. And the fact that people will be anticipating Vanities alone almost makes it so I don't feel the need to play Vanities, because they're going to be playing around it, they're going to be expecting it, and nobody expects this. Nobody expects the Mirror Force. Actually, at the OTS, I was playing against a Satellar Knight player that probably could have won the game if he would have just made a Tremor play, but he read this as a... At least I feel like he read this as a Steeds that couldn't be activated because I had no dudes on board. So he kind of just went off with his play and swung with 4 dudes into the Mirror Force. So, you know, I like it a lot. It's a little tact, I suppose. For the side deck, we have 2 Maxi and 2 Chaos Hunter. Chaos Hunter is like my version of Imperial Iron Wall, because obviously I can't play it, But for the mirror match, it's amazing. For Cosmo, it puts in work. Infernoids, it just destroys. So I also, once in a while, I'll side in just one of them if I'm going against like an OTK heavy deck. And like I'll side in the maxis too. Because even if they don't rely on banishing at all, like this is an out. This is like something I can draw into that will save my ass. I play 2 spells, just the 2 MSTs. I said these in almost every like match. These got pulled out of the main deck for the other 2 E-Tellies, but I don't know. I side them in almost every match because even decks that don't really play back row, they'll side in things like Floodgates, like Mistake, Iron Wall, etc. And this is just like the out to it. Then I play 2 Anti-Spell Fragrance. This card is like the all-time MVP of the side deck this weekend. Sided in against Necroz twice, and it's so amazing. Like, people don't really think of this beyond like siding for Cleese or like other Pendulum decks, but when you go against Necroz, like if you have this turn 1, you can like set everything. Like, you don't have to fear Denko because you just flip this in their standby phase before they get a chance to drop Denko, and it makes you Denko proof. And on top of that, like even if they didn't have the Denko, it still slows them down immensely, which is really, really nice because it makes their plays super readable because they're going to have to set everything before they can make a play. And I play Triple Light Mirror, mostly for Satellers. You can side this in for Cosmo, but it really doesn't do much. Like, they can just like banish for cost and then they resolve off the field, but I don't know. It's okay, but the big problem is Satellers with this deck. Ritual Beast, one of the worst matchups, at least in my experience, has been Satellers, just because they can, you know, play through Steeds so easily, and they can alpha your Gaia Pelio if they want to. So I sided all 3 of these, and it worked out because I ended up having to play Satellers twice, including once in top. Triple Shadow Mirror, BA Shadows, pretty obvious, and then Soul Drain for pretty much the same decks. And then Mermail kind of has some prevalence now with Norden, so it's good for that. I don't really need to side too much for Mermail because I do main deck the outs to it. For the extra, it's all very, very standard for the most part. Triple Ulti Canahawk, double Ulti Apelio, double Ulti Petalfin, double Ulti Gaia Pelio. That's it for the fusions. And then the Xyz, I play Xyz Dragon. This card's actually disgusting. Like, nobody plays it, but it's, I don't know, I put in a lot of work for me. Realistically, though, this should be an Exciton, but I don't own one, so. Diamond Dyer, this is like your out to Floodgates if you don't have the MSTs. Like, if you need to get rid of an Iron Wall or a Mistake, like, this is how you do it, honestly. 101, Dweller, Rhapsody, and Cowboy. Again, if this was an Exciton, it would probably be more optimal, but honestly, Rebellion put in some work. So, my matchups. Round 1, I started off the bat with Necroz. I was actually his only losses in the entire day. I 2-0'd him pretty handedly. I don't get it when people say that Ritual Beast struggles against Necroz. Frankly, for me, it was probably my easiest match of the day. But, yeah, it's whatever. Round 2, I went against a mirror match. Yeah, round 2 was the mirror match. Also, his only loss in Swiss. He ended up losing in top 4, but still. So I was his only loss in Swiss, but it was a mirror match. It was pretty tight. It went to game 3. It was just a matter of I had a little bit more experience with the deck than he did. There were a few times that he probably could have beat me had he been thinking of certain plays that I was thinking of for him. But fortunately for me, he didn't. So I ended up being able to outplay him like that. But it was still a pretty tight match. Round 3, I went against my boy Ryan Pasnick, and he savaged the shit out of me. Like, he 2-0'd me in like 5 minutes. It was actually kind of sad. Round 4, I went against Yang Zing. I 2-0'd him, but it took a while because it's Yang Zing. So I had to wait for my defissure in order to actually do anything because he kept just bringing out his dudes, and I couldn't really make a play. But I did 2-0 him. Then round 5, I played against the Tellers, and I actually, again, got 2-0'd pretty savagely. Fortunately, though, 4 out of the 5 people I played in Swiss ended up top 8ing, so my tiebreakers were amazing. I got pulled up to top 8 at 3-2. Top 8 matchup, I actually had a rematch in my last round in Swiss, the guy who just absolutely destroyed me, and I absolutely destroyed him. I 2-0'd him in probably like 10 minutes. I opened my play, and frankly, I will go on record saying that Ritual Beast with their play is more potent than any other deck with their play, or as potent in the right hands. This deck is disgusting if it goes off. Even if like you do open well as another deck, like if you're going against Ritual Beasts that open well, you're gonna have a hard time. So I beat him, got the top 4. I had a rematch against the Necros player, so both my top 8 and top 4 were both rematches. So played against the Necros player in top 4. At this point, I already had my invite, so like I wasn't even like stressing it. So it helped me relax a little bit, but so I didn't misplay. 2-0'd him. Got to the finals and played against Shadow and absolutely bricked. I didn't really care though. I mean, the mat would have been nice, but honestly, my invite's all I really wanted, and I still got 2nd place. So, yeah. If I had to make any changes to the deck, I would probably try to fit in the vanities, because as much as I try to convince myself that my logic behind it is solid, that'll only work until they play me once. If somebody plays me once and realizes that I don't play it, then they're just going to no-fear it. And I feel like I could make room for it. Something that was pretty highly questioned by a lot of people that I showed my deck to was the triple E-Telly. A lot of people questioned it. They were like, 2 is fine, or even 1 is fine, or don't play it, it's bad. Legitimately, I would not cut it down below 3. Unless more support comes out for this deck, which hopefully it will. I will not drop that below 3. It's so clutch. There were so many times that if I didn't have the E-Telly, I would have just straight lost the match. It helps with OTKs. It helps with saving your own ass. Helps with making, big plays. Other than that, that was pretty much it. I kind of regretted siding all the light mirrors in the side deck, even though I did play against the Tellers twice. Even the match that I won, it really didn't do too much because, like I said, I just drew my play. He didn't draw as good of a play. So I'd probably cut that down to like 2 for something else, maybe like a 3rd maxi. But other than that, I like the build a lot. It's about as consistent as you can get with Ritual Beasts. It's the one downside of this deck. As potent as it does tend to brick. But yeah, if you like the video, go ahead and click the like button down below. Leave any comments with thoughts or questions or anything like that. Like I said, coming back off a long hiatus, so I apologize for the video quality. In the future, it'll be much more edited. But yeah, it feels good to make a video again, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Control Chaos, signing out.